What's up, guys? My name is Anna Dalton, and I am a writing tutor and academic coach for the Student Success Center at TKU. And today I'm going to walk y'all through our TKU Writing Guide, which basically explains how to organize and write a research paper, how to write an outline, and how to use Turabian format. Okay, so first of all, in writing a paper, the first thing you need to do is understand the assignment, which is very basic. The best place that you can find information about what your professor is expecting when it comes to your essay is going to be in your syllabus. So make sure you thoroughly read that to get all of the info on word count, page requirement, citation style, and format. And next, you're going to want to choose your topic, which most of the time with research papers, you're going to have an assigned topic. But in the case that you get to choose, you're going to want to try and avoid super general topics. And also, you want to choose a topic that you're personally interested in and passionate about so that you can actually finish it, stay motivated, and get it done. So next, you're going to want to gather your research. And typically, you're going to find your sources either in an online database or in our library. And especially when you're looking for sources just online on like a Google or something, you need to make sure that they are credible sources, which are science journals and academic articles. And you're going to want to steer away from like Wikipedia and those general things that are not as academically credible. Okay, next you need to write your thesis statement. So your thesis statement is 1 to 2 sentences that summarize the entirety of your paper. And it's always going to be the last sentence of your introduction. And it also needs to be a chronological preview of the topics that you're going to cover in your essay. And what I mean by that is if you have like 3 points that you're covering throughout the essay, your thesis statement is going to be a preview of those 3 main points in the order that you're going to cover them. So, and again, make sure your thesis statement is always the last sentence of your introduction. Students tend to make it their first sentence. I'm not sure why, but it needs to be your last sentence of your introduction, and it needs to be a preview of the entirety of your paper. Next, you're going to want to make an outline. Outlines are very helpful ways to make sure that your essay is organized and logical and just help you get into the flow of writing. And it just, in general, makes it way easier to write an essay when you have an outline prepped. And we have an example in this guide that we're going to cover in just a second. After you make an outline, you want to write the first draft. And it's kind of hard to like get into the groove of writing, actually get it out. But when you write your first draft, don't be afraid of making mistakes. Just jump into it, get all your thoughts out. And it's okay if it's imperfect and there's mistakes because that's why we edit and that's why we proofread. So just get it all out and get all your thoughts out, and then you can go back and fix it up later. Okay, next, you're going to edit and proofread. So we recommend that you edit and proofread at least twice, the first time being for more general structural issues and changes. So that's like flow and like the organization of the paragraphs and just like structural issues. And then the second time that you edit is for more specific mistakes like word choice, grammar, and spelling mistakes. And then last, you want to add your citations. So in every single research paper that you're going to write, you're going to need citations. And citations also just validate your information and validate your data. It demonstrates credibility and also links your research paper to the greater academic community. And again, TKU uses Turabian format and a Turabian style for citations, which we're going to cover later. But just to reiterate, we use Turabian notes bibliography style in most settings. In some settings, they're going to have differences in citation styles, but typically at TKU, we use Turabian notes bibliography style. Okay, now I'm just going to run you all through these 5 basic guidelines for making an outline. They're very simple, very self-explanatory. The first one is identify your topic and your thesis statement, which we already talked about. Decide what points you want to discuss, which we also already talked about. Put your points in numerical order. write possible transitions between paragraphs, and lastly, use a standard template to make your outline, which I'm pretty sure the next slide is an example outline that you can absolutely use. Yes, okay, so outline example. I'm not going to walk through every single point because this is a lot of points, but this is just a general guideline for how to approach your outlines when it comes to content and how it's supposed to look. This is the best way to go. This is just Times New Roman 12-point font, double space, and it's also Roman numerals. And then I think on Word, if you just use a Roman numeral, then it'll automatically put all of these other things in there. But yeah, so you're going to have your introduction, your body, and then your conclusion. And again, you just want to follow this general guideline for an outline. It's super simple, super helpful. Here's the rest of it. Again, yeah, I don't want to run through all of it, but this is super helpful for when it comes to what you want to include in your outline. Okay, next we are going to briefly cover the title page. So in Turabian format, unless your professor specifically says that they do not want a title page, you want to always include a title page. And this is what it's supposed to look like. This is Times New Roman font, 12-point, double space, very simple. And we also have a PDF template of this if you want to download that, and then you can just like copy and paste your info in there. But again, very simple, very straightforward. So that's your title page. And then these are our Turabian resources. This top one, the Turabian Citation Quick Guide, is going to be your primary source for creating citations. It basically gives you an example of what your citation needs to look like for like every single type of source, from like a book to a movie to a dissertation to like a journal article to a magazine. They just have examples for every single type of source. And then our next source or resource is a Turabian essay example, which this is pretty self-explanatory. It's just an example of what a Turabian essay needs to look like. And then lastly, we have our Purdue OWL Chicago manual style. It's a mouthful. And this is a more thorough description of Turabian format and citation methods, but it does not offer as many specific examples of citations. I personally use the Turabian Citation Quick Guide way more than any of the other resources. So I would highly recommend that one. And I know the citations are kind of a lot, and it's a lot to understand and a lot to tackle, but just to clarify, so basically in every research paper that you're going to have, if you use a source, you're going to have two separate citations for it. So the first citation is going to be your footnote. So at the bottom of this page, you see the footnote, wow, I can't speak, footnote citation format. And this is what your footnote is going to look like. So this is going to appear at the bottom of the page that you quoted it. It's going to be your first name, last name, the title of the source, the place of publication, publishing company, date of publication, and page number. And again, depending on what type of source it is, the citation is going to look a little bit differently. Like, for example, if this was a journal article, there would be a couple of other pieces of information that you need to include. And you can find those examples in the Turabian Citation Quick Guide. So that's the first citation that you need to have when you're quoting a source. And then the second citation will be in your bibliography, which this is the page that comes at the very end of your essay. And this is where you list out all of the sources that you used in your essay. And this citation is going to include the same information as your footnote, but it's in slightly different order. So if you look at the difference, it's like the first and last name are flopped, and then it's like a period instead of a comma, and then there's no brackets. So just small details like that. But in essence, they include the same pieces of information, but just in a different order. So again, when you're citing a source, you're going to have those two different types of citations, and that's the footnote and then the bibliography. Okay, lastly, I just wanted to let y'all know that at the Student Success Center, we offer, first of all, writing tutoring. You can schedule an appointment by clicking on the link that I have on this page. I don't know if I can highlight it or not. Okay, I guess not. But yeah, there's the link to schedule an appointment. And then if y'all ever have any questions about Turabian format or organizing and writing an essay or writing a thesis statement or finding research or anything related to writing assignments, you can always email us or call us or drop by our office if you are on ground, and we're always happy to help. And again, you can also schedule a writing appointment. But yeah, that's all I have for y'all today. Hopefully it was helpful, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day.